One of the things that I did when I was a young engineer, when I was in engineering and training per se, and I was in I want to say my third year, junior year, I really didn't have much experience. And one of the things that I did to make my resume sound or seem a little bit more professional per se, or to increase the perceived value of my resume, was to add that I was a member of the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. Now, I'm not sure if it worked. I'm not sure if it ever led to some place. However, I want to talk to you about whether or not there is any benefit to being part of these associations, because the truth of the matter is that they do charge you, I think it's an annual fee to be part of them. And unless you are really, really into engineering and you breathe and then you just drink it and then you dream it and then you want to be staying on top of every single trend, then you might want to reconsider your membership. And I'm going to go over one general thought that I have here when it comes to being part of these associations, because I mean, yes, you do get some perks per se, but you actually have to take some action. Obviously, you have to be involved and you have to go to the events or attend the events, and so it requires time. And so here's what I personally think. When I was a younger engineer, I think for the time I was a student in Virginia Tech, I was part of the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. And I think on a weekly basis or several times a week back then, they would send you emails with things that are happening in industry, presentations that are taking place that could help you grow professionally, that could help you network and whatnot. And so I did this until I graduated, because you do get a student discount per se when you become part of these societies. But once that student discount ran out, it didn't really help me to be part of these societies and to this specific society. But I have been doing a little bit of research before I made this video, obviously, and I was looking at a couple of scenarios, and it kind of validated what I was thinking before, that when you are part of these societies, I think the main advantage that you can get from them is the networking capabilities, or the networking chances or opportunities that you have to do with perhaps in events with other engineers or perhaps companies. Also, the other main advantage that I believe it has is as they help you, they give you tips to grow professionally. They give you tips to advance your career and whatnot. But the main one I want to say is that you get to network and you get to establish relationships with other people or perhaps companies. And a lot of times those relationships may tell you about a job. Let's say you're looking for a job or you want to switch the engineering field from one to another engineering field. And so one of these connections can help you get another job, or perhaps they give you another opportunity, something that you weren't even expecting. Maybe they think you'll be a good fit for it, And the other thing that I found online was that somebody was telling a story on how this person, because I think this person was part of the IEEE, it's like the ASME, the American Society of Mechanical Engineers for electrical engineers. Like, I don't even know what it means exactly. I'm not an electrical engineer, man. Anyway, so this person was saying that through this society, this person found a job, and then these other two random engineers per se were able to vouch for this other engineer for the engineer's character. So they vouched for his character. Anyway, so that was just kind of a trick, I guess, and a way to get references per se. That's another way to use your network when you are applying for certain positions, for certain jobs that require you to have references. But grand scheme of things, I want to say that those are the two main advantages. The first one, I want to say like 80% of everything, it's just networking capabilities. But the caveat is that you have to be involved in the event. You have to know what's going on and where it's going on. Obviously, a lot of the things are being done virtually now. So maybe you can attend a webinar, or maybe you can get to chat with other engineers in industry, maybe exchange LinkedIn's or Instagrams, whatever. And so, to be honest, I mean, after that, I really don't know whether or not it's worth it. If you are someone that is part of these societies, and like I said, unless you are someone that is really, or someone that wants to stay on top of everything that is engineering related, and engineering is just your passion, and then your field is just, you don't imagine yourself doing anything else, and you don't have any other interests other than engineering. I mean, maybe it is worth it because then you find resources, and then you can find perhaps the latest articles or advances in industry, and like deal with other experts in the same field. And so it's really gonna be up to you. But if you're someone that is just trying to see whether or not it's gonna make a if you're someone that is thinking about just adding this as a line on your resume, I don't think it's going to be as helpful as you may think, because the bottom line is that it's really easy. Anyone can do it. You know, there's nothing special about it. I can just pay $100 a year and then just put it on my resume as well. And so how does that benefit me? How does that make me special when it comes to applying for a position? Yeah, I mean, it may insinuate, or it may make people think that you are involved in the community and then so forth. But I mean, personally, I don't think it makes a difference. If I saw somebody with a resume and then they have IEEE or ASME on the resume, I'd be like, okay, this doesn't mean anything to me. So unless, of course, they worked on a project that was related to ASME and something that makes them unique and something that brings value to them as people, as applicants, and also that will bring value to me as an employer if I were one hiring, you know? Now, here's another thing though. Maybe if you are someone that is just getting started and you absolutely have nothing else to show on your resume, then maybe it's good because it's just going to fill your resume with something that is going to, I guess, let people know that you at least are trying to be involved in societies and just kind of expand your network, and that you're trying, you know. But once you are on the field, in my opinion, and once you have some experience, that is totally going to outweigh whether or not you're part of any other society, whatever it happens to be. Unless it's a prestigious society that is hard to get into, you know, like there's some, when you have a high GPA and you're in university, there are some societies that are kind of hard to get into, and they're very elite per se. I don't know, not one of them comes to mind right now. If it's a society that recruits people based on their accomplishments, and it's a society that doesn't just take anyone because they pay money, then maybe it's worth it, you know, because it's based on competence. And if the society is highly competitive and they only take a couple of people here and there, then of course that's put it on your resume, be part of the society, because then what it does is it increases the perceived value of your resume and your skills. Because when you show that you're part of an elite society per se, something that not many people has access to, especially students, when it comes to the academic performance or even like work performance, who knows, then I'm all for it. I think that that's just going to be a really good line on a resume. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think. If you ever been part of these societies, if you ever been part of any of these associations, have they helped you? And if you are someone that is part of these societies or maybe runs one of these societies, let us know like what type of advantages. I know there's many other advantages, but I just went over a couple of them that I think that are relevant for this video. And so if you are someone that is interested in joining, or someone that is just kind of saying, oh fuck it, I'll join for like $100 a year or so, then I'm gonna leave the links of those societies here in the description of this video, so you can go check them out and make the decisions for your own and decide whether or not it's helpful. In my opinion, unless you want to network and get some tools to advance your career, attend some webinars, other than that, mainly networking though, I don't think it's worth it. My personal perspective. All right, so with that being said, let me know if you disagree. I love to exchange ideas. And with that being said, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Alex Sider. We talk about engineering career and life analysis here. Peace.